Rendering, it's where all magic comes together in Unreal Engine. Whether you are crafting cinematic visual, optimizing gameplay, or pushing the boundaries of real-time rendering, your settings make all the difference, but where do you even begin? Hi, in this video we are diving into the ultimate guide for render settings in Unreal Engine 5.5.1. From basic configuration to advanced, I will show you how to unlock the best performance and visual quality for your projects. Whether you are a beginner or a pro, this video has something for you. Let's head to Unreal Engine and I have my project open. Here I already have a level design and I have a sequence with a basic animation for demonstration. We have a camera in sequencer and here is the basic animation. And let's make sure our movie render queue is enabled. Go to edit, go to plugins and search for movie render queue. You can enable additional render passes, but it is still in beta, so I don't know if it is useful for a render or not. Once you enable it, restart your engine. Now click on the render button and we have movie render queue opened. And now click on unsave config and render setting will open. We are going to make changes to maximize render quality, delete JPG sequence and add EXR sequence. We use EXR because it has highest quality. Don't change compression because this method provides best quality, but file size will be huge. Now the next thing we are going to add anti-aliasing and then color output. Also add game overrides. The game overrides are best for short animation or still images. It is important because it will force Unreal Engine to use highest quality of textures available in the scene to render. If your scene is too complex, I don't recommend you to use it because it will increase your render time by hours. The last thing we are going to add console variables. Now click on plus button to add console variables. And first I am going to add art.screen percentage and I will set it value to 125. You can set it to 150 if you are using 1080p resolution to render. Next command type art.depth of field quality and set its value to 5. But if you don't have very high-end graphic card, try using lower values. If render is too slow, we can add more console variables. Next one is art.shadow quality and set value of 5. Let's add fourth one, art.motion blur quality and set the value to 5. And the last one art.bloom quality and set the value to 5. And these are the only console variables we need to maximize the render quality. Now let's head to Antialiasing. Set spatial sample count to 2 and temporal sample count to 8 and turn on override Antialiasing. And always set warm up count to at least 64 and also set engine warm up count to 64. And now let's set up color output. First enable OCIO and create a OCIO config and save it in a folder. Let's name it. And now double click and open it. Click on plus button to add desired color spaces and same for desired display views. Now on index 0 select linear REC 709 sRGB and for index 1 select ASSCG and for desired display view inside Rec 1886 Rec 709 select ASS 1.0 SDR video. And now we can save the color configuration. Once we are done with color output and render settings, we have to make sure we are using the same color configuration for our viewport. Also you can save the preset to use in future. So we know how our scene will look after rendering. Click on lit button and go to OCIO display and now click on enable display. You may see few errors on your viewport. So go back to OCIO display and first select OCIO asset we just made and on first option select linear Rec 709 and here select SDR video and viewport error will be fixed. If I disable OCIO display, the viewport become a bit vibrant, so color difference is noticeable. Let's enable it again and head back to render settings, and here we also have to select transform source and transform destination. On transform source select Rec 709 and for transform destination select ASSCG Now the final step of rendering, we have to select output folder. Choose the output folder with enough space because we are using EXR sequence and it has really huge file size. And since I want to export this in 4K, so I will change the resolution to 4K. And we can start render now. I will also add workflow of Davinci Resolve and After Effects in this video, so you don't have problem with that. Once render is finished, I will open Davinci Resolve. Let's wait for it to open. And now I will create new project to show you the workflow to import a sequence into Davinci Resolve. Go to media pool and go to the folder where you exported your render from Unreal Engine. And here we have to change the frame display to sequence. Then I will select and drag it to media pool. When you import it in your timeline, it's looking really blackish, or I would say darker in our viewport. Now let's fix this real quick. Go to color grading section and then open effects library, and from Resolve effects, colors, here drag ACES transform and drop it in on your clip. And then change input transform to ACES CG and output transform to Rec 709. And now the render looks exactly like Unreal Engine viewport. And I do the color grading here. I cannot show that in this video because it will be too long to show color grading and all stuff. This is the simple and easy workflow of Davinci Resolve. And now let's see how we can import our render inside After Effects. I have After Effects opened, and now I would double click on empty space of media pool. And I will go to the folder where we have our rendered frames. Here just select the first frame and click import. After Effects will import the whole scene as sequence. You can create a new composition just by dragging the sequence to the timeline and it will create the composition automatically. And like Davinci Resolve, we have to fix the darker viewport. To fix that, first click on the button called 8bpc, and here on default the color engine is set to Adobe. Now let's change it to OCIO, click OK. And now change bit depth to 32-bit. And remember, we use ACES version 1.3, so change it here as well. And now here select working space ACES CG and set display color space Rec 1886, Rec 709, sRGB. And now click OK, and your viewport will be same as Unreal Engine and you are good to go. And last step for rendering, go to File, Export and click on Add to Render Queue. Double click on Output Module and go to color section, and here let me search for Rec 1886, Rec 709. First we have to turn on show all button, then we will be able to find correct color mode. We can choose sRGB display ACES 1.0 as well, but I always use Rec 1886, Rec 709 SDR video for all my renders inside After Effects. Also we export a still image from Unreal, so let's see the workflow of Photoshop. Let's open Photoshop. Now I will export single frame from our Unreal Engine renders folder. And once it's opened, here we have same blackish frame inside Photoshop as well. To fix it, first select the layer from layers panel and then go to edit, and here at the bottom click on open color setting. And here we have two presets for ACES 1.3 version. Select any of them. Then we have to change working space to ACES CG and make sure document depth is set to 32-bit. Now click OK, and now go back to edit, then click on convert to profile, and here just change input color space to ACES CG. And your render image will be fixed. So this was the Photoshop workflow and we are done with the render settings. And here is the few tips I wanted to share with you. These settings are crucial for achieving clean professional quality renders using temporal sample to smooth motion and reduce noise in dynamic scene, and boost spatial sample for redefined details. In static shots, for cinematic, try a combination like 32 temporal and 8 spatial sample to balance quality and render times. Keep in mind that high sample means high quality, but it will take so long to render this scene. So use high values only for still images or commercial. For movies, we use 2 spatial sample count and 16 temporal sample count. For backlighting setups, use GPU light mask feature. It is significantly faster than CPU light mask and produce realistic result with soft shadows and indirect bounces. That's it for today. Remember, every project you create is a step forward, and every setting you tweak brings you closer to mastering your craft. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep creating.